Hey guys, it's me Chandra and today's video is about Wuthering Wave, and we're focusing right now for echoes, and right now they're actually doing right now the web event about echoes, so I think this is a good time for me to discuss about echoes itself in here. So of course I will talk about like what is the best pick in general, and I will talk a little bit just in general brief about echo itself, so maybe some of them not really related regarding web event, but it also gives you like some additional knowledge. So, but of course my main point still in here about regarding the web event, so let's get started. So of course when you talk like what actually that you should pick, the first step that actually very obvious is that for sure you have to choose the 5-star itself. So get the 5-star no matter what, because of course we are aiming the highest rarity, not the lowest, right? And also a little bit info, if you get 5-star echo, they will give you more XP compared to like 4-star and below, something like that. And this XP will increase your terminal level. Terminal level is basically very important because the higher your terminal level, you will get like higher rarity of your echo itself. So that's why this is actually very useful. Getting 5-star, it will kind of help you to push your progression of your terminal level to become faster. And second step is that prioritize obtaining cost 3 echoes, or we call it elite echoes. So maybe some of you still not familiar what these echoes have like cost, something like that. So let me explain in here in very short. Cost 1 echo is basically just like common rarity. It's very easy for you to farm. They have large distribution across the world. They have a lot of amount in there. And there's a next one is cost 3. Cost 3 usually in CBT2 they refer as a elite echoes. So elite echoes in here usually only have limited distribution. So like the Violet Feather Heron in here, that's basically only have 5 or 6 across the world itself. Unless you want to go to your friends, then sure. But if you're just like alone, don't have friends like me, then sure, you only have 6 on that day and you need to wait another day. So it's only basically very limited, and that's why elite, we can say like things that we should prioritize because they only have limited distribution in overall per day. So of course, in very logical sense that we want to focus on something that more rare, right? So that's why we choose for the cost 3 or elites. Actually, there will still one more category, which is cost 4. We refer as a boss echoes, but they don't have in the web event. But I think it is also good to know. Technically, they are boss echo, where if you defeat this boss, you will get the echo of those boss. One of the example that already very famous, which is Crownless, right? Yeah, you can get that Crownless as an echo itself. Technically they are unlimited, you just need to wait them until respawn. The next step is actually depends on your priority. It's either you want to priority the function or mostly the active skill, where you want this echo to help you to killing enemy, or even you want to priority like the stats, mostly the passives, the set effect, something like that. So first, if you just want to choose function, or mostly you only care about the active skill, this is mostly only good for early game, because of course in the end game you will focus more about the passive sets. But it's literally right now it's fun because of course we don't even play the game yet, so even in early game this is still pretty much useful if you want to choose this route. So if you choose function, of course I will explain what is cost 1 and cost 3 different about of the function itself. For the cost 1, usually only work like a helper, literally just a little bit helper, where you just maybe help you to attack a little bit additional damage, maybe like shoot a little bit fireball, heal you a little bit, something like that. Literally just small amount of help. There is no much actually a good echo in here that I will recommend, but the one that I want to highlight, which is the whip help in here, because it's not only dual dealing damage but also have crowd control. Well, it can be useful for you to gather enemies, so that's the only cost 1 that I want to highlight. Cost 3, you have more option in here, where there's 2 different types. There's the one that transform, you become those echoes and it attack, and or the other one it will become someone itself, so similar like the cost self, it will fight alongside with you. In general, their damage dealing is already decent, of course better than cost 1. There's a couple of them that I want to highlight, which is Spearback, Spirit Blaze, Saurian, and Rostrum. Basically 3 of them is pretty much similar. They help fight alongside with you, so it can work as a good sub DPS to maximize your damage. So you will get like them attacking and also you attacking, so that's good as a like, you know, additional damage. The next one, which is Auto Puppet Scout, this is also pretty good. It dealing high damage in short period of time and creating walls, so that's actually good, right? The Echo Boss itself basically gives you high damage amount. Currently right now as 1.0, all the Echo Boss is basically useful, just depend on your need or element that you want. Although I say this boss echo actually pretty good, they give you benefit buff and also deal high amount of damage, but they also have a little bit downside, which is their animation usually takes quite a long time, which sometimes it can be risky if the enemy sometimes too aggressive, and if you're using in the wrong timing, you will literally taking damage or even die. So make sure if you want to use boss echo, your timing is basically quite important. And that's all if you prioritize the echoes for the active skill itself or mostly as the function. Now we'll talk what if you prioritize the stats or mostly you only care about the stats effect itself. This is a lot more straightforward. If you prioritize mostly the stat, then just go mostly what element that you want to go. The easiest way to determine is going what character you want to focus on. So for example in here, because I want to focus on Kalkaro and Yelin, so my main focus now is very obvious because they are Electro. Right now I will focus on Electro set. So in here web event, I will just focus to find like what is the Electro echoes that available. So my choice, I will of course will focus on elites because I feel like it's rarer, so I will take it's either Violet Feather Heron or Flautist or something like that. In my recommendation, this is actually better to follow in this step where usually just focus on echo setup or based on their elemental setup, so you can just feel that uniform. You choose the right echo according to what their elements, because yeah, you can still just utilize the active skill, but if you have the different element, let's say you want to main Yang, but you choose the fire echoes or the fusion echoes, like yeah, it still can work, but in the end like the effect set is kinda weak, so I think it's better to just follow according to what their element or sets. And now maybe because of you think like, wow, this guy makes so complicated, this guy yapping so much, no worries, that's actually the more detailed one. Now I'll make the recap or the one that actually just very short in here. So actually, who should you pick on this web event for the echo itself? First, just focus 5-star echo with the 3 costs or the elite echo itself, because they are more limited in the overworld distribution and making harder even to farm for the 5-star, especially for the earlier stage. Right now it's quite hard because the drop rate of the 5-star for the early level of your terminal level is quite hard, so prioritize the one that rare is actually better. And the next part is just like mostly focus on what character you want to main and look at their element or their role. Let's say you want to focus on Jian, right? And Jian is arrow, and of course you want to focus on arrow echo itself, and of course the best choice is to get the Hood Chief because it 3 costs and it's also arrow, something like that. But if you ask my choice, I will choose Violet Feather Heron. Why? Because it's spawned very less among others echoes that I haven't farmed in CBT2. It's basically only 5 or 6 lesser than other elites, so it's very hard to get a good piece also, and it's very hard also to get like the 5-star echoes to get your XP from there. So it took me like days, it's actually quite long. Yeah, maybe someone should say, yeah, you can just join other people's world or maybe your friends world, right? The problem is that I'm very shy to join people world, and I also don't have any friends to play this game, so sad. However, I also consider the Auto Puppet Scout just because I feel like it's for the starting is pretty good too, because it's also rare, of course. It dealing big of damage in the short period of amount of time, but in the end, whatever you choose, like 5-star, as long as elite or cost 3, it's already pretty much a good choice. So that's pretty much it about like the echoes in general, and mostly what is you should pick in this web event. Apologies if this video quite come later because I'm still editing before the 21 video from the PGR one, and now after that I just go edit this, so yeah, that's why it took for a while. But in the end, I still appreciate for those who that still watching here right now. And yeah, if you like this video, feel free to hit the super button and like, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.